back here at ING Direct Fieldhouse, Maple Zone Sports and Fitness Complex, where the Nimble Jacks have hopped out to a 44-28 lead over the Throwbacks. Throwbacks are going to look to limit the turnovers and capitalize on the Jacks' turnovers here in the second if they want to close this gap of 16 points. Founder Bill Gibson puts the prime rush down. Farris goes in, loose ball, he wins it. T-backs ball to start this period off. Graham driving, it's near post. Weiss has been vulnerable there early on. 44-30, Nimble Jacks lead. Petrino, Kennedy. Very similar looks for Petrino and Kennedy. Continue to mix them up, but Kennedy drives that home for two. Trading blows here in the first minute. 46-30, Nimble Jacks lead. Graham passes up on that shot. Funnels it back to the middle to Young. Young puts a ball fake on Kennedy. Save Weiss, another save Weiss. Jacks need the transition, and Graham will be charged with a handball. Jacks ball between quads 1 and 2. Officials are going to discuss this in the middle. Be Nimble Jacks ball between quads 1 and 2. They were on Throwbacks on offense. When you commit a handball on offense, it's an automatic turnover. So Jacks will go right to offense here as they'll inbound between quads 1 and 2. Ryan Coyne will take it in the middle. Cross field to Stevens. Stevens driving. Goes back across field to Sean Kennedy. Joe Petrino caught fire at the end of the first. Hits Kennedy. Scott Kennedy, that is. Couple S. Kennedys on the Jacks. Graham pressures him in the middle. Another block for Ferrero. He redirects it into Bada's hands. Bada collects it, hits Ferrero. Quick transition. Nothing there. Ferrero drives, draws a defender, hits Young. He passes up on another. The Throwbacks are passing up on so many open looks. They're just not being aggressive enough for me.
You got to be aware of where you're going to go before you even have the ball.
Nick Ferrero drives, redirects up through the ring. A rare turn of events there on a save by Hutch originally, but off his foot through the crown ring for 4 points. It's a little spark to get the Throwbacks going. Sometimes you need a little luck to get things back on track. O'Donnell driving, finds Kennedy. Bounce shot right past him, Phil.
You can bank on it every time. Another S. Kennedy. Brings the bounce shot. The other throws it upper 90.
Graham hits Bada, shooting 4. Saves Sean Kennedy. Loose ball in the middle, touched by Graham. It's by Bada, rather. Ball's loose in the goal zone. Still loose. And Brett Young will settle it. Drill it home from the wedge for 2. T-backs cut the deficit to 12 here early on. 17-20 remaining, 48-36. Nimble Jacks lead.
T-backs realize that if they're going to be in this game, they got to step up the offense to keep up with the high-powered Jacks.
A couple of unfortunate rings hit by the Nimble Jacks. Stevens tries to sneak one there. Lost his footing on the shot. Bada collects it easily. Ferrero, a lot of pressure defense by the Nimble Jacks right now. Could leave an opening. Farino touches it home for 2. T-backs cut that lead to 10. 48-38, 16:45 remaining. Petrino loses the handle, throws out of bounds, and it'll be T-backs ball, making a little run here early in the second.
It's good to see him picking up the pace. If they didn't do this, this was going to be a runaway for the Jacks. And Rapids normally don't eat meat, but they're smelling blood.
Ryan Hoff takes the inbound. And the Throwbacks give it right back to the Nimble Jacks again. Farino will take the foul. Possession foul there, trying to let his defense recover. Ball fake, O'Donnell. Save, Bradley. Great save, Jim Bradley there. Like we said earlier, the Throwbacks need to capitalize when the Nimble Jacks turn the ball over, but they continue to turn it back over on nearly every turnover the Jacks commit. The Throwbacks come right back and turn it over themselves. It's shooting themselves in the foot. They could be in this game. Coyne, bottom right, off the post. Weiss collects the rebound, hits Kennedy. 15:45 remaining, 48-38, Nimble Jacks lead. O'Donnell takes it. Deeks comes back to quad 3. Caton driving 3. Right between the legs of Bradley. Not happy about that one.
Little 5-hole action from the Jacks.
Nothing worse than a 5-hole sneaking through. Hoff collects it in quad 3. He'll come back to quad 1. Hits Farris driving, loses the handle, touches it back to Farino. Still T-backs ball. Brett Young finds Graham. Hitting a cutting Thomas. Redirects through the ring, and that's a crown ring. T-backs have cut it to 8.
T-backs are playing what you see in hockey as part of a one-timer offense. One pass and shot right away.
Got away with a walk there, I think O'Donnell did. Loose ball. T-backs looking to win this one. He'll touch it back to Hoff in the goal zone. And the T-backs transition. 8-point game, 50-42. Nimble Jacks lead. Oh, great move off the crown. Great move, John Graham. T-backs recover, get the rebound, loose ball. Last touch by the Nimble Jacks. It'll be T-backs ball between quads 2 and 4. As I said before, T-backs have cut this lead to 8. 14:30 remaining, 50-42. Nimble Jacks lead. Hoff driving, far post drills it, and we got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Great job by the Throwbacks. Timeout Nimble Jacks with 14:19 remaining in the second. Big time comeback here in the second for the Throwbacks.
That's the name of the game. Somebody like Ryan Hoff, known for his defensive prowess, is going to have to step up and make some big shots here for the Throwbacks.
I'll tell you what, though, the Nimble Jacks are very, very dangerous coming out of timeouts. And you got to look for the Throwbacks to put a big-time defensive stand up on here and prevent the Jacks, who usually come out of timeouts hot. They do. It's a track record for them. Apparently, it's hard to hear through mic 1, so I'm just going to raise the tone of my voice, which I do very well on occasion, Phil.
Well, it's said when 2 announcers are in the booth that they do raise the volume on the better announcer in this case, which obviously is on microphone 2.
Guess they wanted to quiet me, man. More the PCAV show. You can check out the PCAV show on www.kronum.com and the league forums. Guy's got some golden stuff he writes. He also writes for the Business and Community blog. A little roundup of every round.
And on Twitter, at pcavalcani17. I will not spell that for you. At pcavalcani17.
Nimble Jacks, the possession here. 14 minutes to go. Ryan Coyne funnels through the middle. Hits Ben Hutchinson, who's been pretty quiet this game. Another block, Nick Ferrero. This kid just turns it on against the Jacks. That was the last game he played against them. He had 7 blocks. I think he's got 4 or 5 earlier here today. It's about 5. He redirected the one to Bada. We'll have to check and see if that's a block, but he's been all over the place in quad 4. Kump driving, shooting, far post, drills it. Just checking into the game, making an impact immediately.
Matt Kump's a guy who really brings a high-energy play to the field every time he steps on, even as a sub or as a starter.
Nice little offensive setup there for the T-backs, but nice save by Pete Weiss. 52-44, Nimble Jacks lead. 13:20 remaining here in the second. Matt Kump is the kind of guy that'll just play his role. He'll come off the bench, do what he's got to do. Bada for 8! That is an 8-point Kronum, and the Throwbacks have come all the way back to tie this game. 52-52, 13 minutes remaining in the second. Throwbacks looking to shock the world and give the Jacks their first loss since 2010. Since 2009, should I say. Kennedy blocked by Ryan Hoff. Jacks recover. Caton near post, save Hoff, collected by Caton. Kennedy will have a free shot at quad 2. We'll pass it off to Hutch. Hutch will collect it up in the middle to Kump. Hits Coyne. Coyne off the post and out of bounds. Throwbacks ball with a chance to take the lead. This would be the T-backs' first lead in the game if they can convert here. This is one of those opportunities on a turnover, and they take advantage of it. Finally, the Throwbacks get the turnover they need and convert on points. They have taken the lead 54-52. Kennedy forces in 8. That's another turnover by the Nimble Jacks.
We're seeing an excited Throwback squad here, rallying around each other, picking it up on D and making the shots on offense. This is what they need to do. This is what their game plan was.
This is very uncharacteristic by the Nimble Jacks to be playing this sort of game right now against, in all intents and purposes, a huge underdog, an inferior opponent by the eyes of in eyes of statistics. Farino driving quad 3. Finds Ferrero. Quick chop step. That's money. That'll be another 4-point crown ring as it redirects through. Off the mark, Ryan Coyne. The Throwbacks are completely dominating the second period. They lead 58-52, 11-15 remaining in the second. Throwbacks ball between quads 1 and 2. Graham collects it to Farino. He is going to slow play. The Throwbacks will go right back into their style of play as they have regained the lead. Or taken their first lead, actually, Phil.
Yeah, this is something they've been thinking about for a long time. They played the Jacks in the finals last year and took a pretty considerable loss in terms of the final score being a little
pass,
lopsided.
Joe Farino. Assist leader in 2010, showing you why right there.
And this is the grudge match.
Graham converting. And Kennedy looks shell-shocked. This is a very, very, very uncharted waters for the Nimble Jacks. Hutchinson pressured by Yaniak. Weiss driving quad 4, hits Hutchinson, who goes back to Kennedy in the middle. He'll pass off to Caden. Caden will have an open look, and he will convert for 2, and the Jacks have finally put some points on the board. Bradley struggling on the transition there. Slow roller out. Farino will just let it go all the way to the middle, and he'll collect it and drive quad 2. Fakes him, rolls it in. Big save, Pete Weiss. Graham dekes it, and it will be Throwbacks ball between quads 1 and 2. Oh, this is a bad call. This is a bad call. That should be Throwbacks ball. It was a save by Weiss and out of bounds, and the Nimble Jacks will convert on points on a rough call there by the Throwbacks, against the Throwbacks, should I say. 60-56, 9:30 remaining. T-backs lead. Didn't think we'd be saying that at this point of the game. Throwbacks lead. Big block shot, Scott Kennedy. And the Nimble Jacks will transition. Quick shot, Stevens. Big save. James Thomas swats that away. Punched by Reitz. Kicked out by Graham. Not Reitz, but Yaniak. My mistake. T-backs transition. Young for 4. Off the mark, and he'll get the foul. Clock stops with 9:02 remaining in the second.
That's not a good foul by Jay Shagda. You have somebody like Ben Hutchison in goal. He can really turn away most balls from the point like that when he gets a good look. When it's just him and the shooter, you got to leave him alone there.
Absolutely. Ben Hutchinson been doing it for years in the Kronum League. Got to let him go one-on-one there. So Young goes one-on-one. He buries it for 3. 3 points on penalty shots. And the Jacks trail by 7 with 9 minutes remaining in the second. Jared O'Donnell is going to pick that ball up in the middle. Finds Coyne. Coyne mishandles. Young putting the pressure on. White ball. Redirected off Ferrero. Ryan Coyne takes the inbound. Jacks trail by 7. 8:30 remaining in the second. Looking for a little bit of a spark. Save. Ryan Hoff on Petrino there. Petrino's gone quiet here in the second. Loose ball on the wedge. Collected by the Throwbacks. Far side. Whistle. We got a foul on Joe Petrino. It'll be Throwbacks ball. No need to transition anymore. They are on offense after the foul. Inbound to Brett Young. Throwbacks subbing in and out. Ryan Tressel will make his first appearance in the game. Young driving. Puts it past O'Donnell for 2. Timeout, Nimble Jacks. Their second of the period. It's 65-56. Throwbacks lead. 8:01 remaining in the second. This is big time, Phil.
I got to admit it, too. It is. This is something
I didn't expect this.
Where Joe Farino doesn't have his guys buying into the Nimble Jacks hype. This is something you're not seeing midway through the second period of any Jacks game. They're down by 9 points. The Throwbacks are excited. They're up, and they're checking the Jacks every time they make an offensive run. The Jacks have been known to go on 15, 20, 25-point scoreless streaks with the opposition, shutting them out for massive periods of time. It's just not happening here. The backs are making them play to their style, their tempo of game, rather than vice versa.
Absolutely, Phil. And another thing we're going to look for here for the Nimble Jacks, this has not been a situation, I don't think they've ever been in this situation since probably 2009. They've never trailed in the second period since 2009. And they're going to come out of this huddle, and we need to see something. I need to see something that's some signs of life, because right now the Throwbacks fully control the momentum, and it looks as if they're poised to win this game and be the ones to end the streak.
Absolutely, Kyle. They're playing strong everywhere. They have strong wedge back play right now. They're anchored by James Thomas, Jim Bradley, Ryan Hoff, and Steve Botta, 4 all-star caliber wedge backs. And their offense is taking their time. Joe Farino's got his guys calmed down and focused, and they're hitting their shots right now in the second.
A lot of time remaining, though, Phil. We could be jumping the gun here, but we just want to put the situation in perspective and what's going on here on the round today. Kennedy driving for 4. Bang! Buries it. That is the shot they needed. That's a 4-point shot from the point. Little miscommunication with the officials there. Ryan Ayers thought it may have gone through the crown ring, but it clearly went under the crown.
We'll see if the strong-willed Jacks captain can bring his team back to the level of play they usually commit themselves to week in and week out.
T-backs slow playing as usual. 65-60 T-backs lead. 7:17 remaining in the second. Quick roll in for Reitz off net. They're starting to give the Nimble Jacks some opportunities here. This is something they need to limit. They need to get good possessions, keep shots on net, keep the ball inside the round. O'Donnell takes it. He's been quiet as well here in the second. Scott Kennedy draws a defender. Hutch is wide open. He'll go low and bang it home. T-backs lead cut to 3. Nimble Jacks right back in this one. Caton will pressure his defense. Farino will get rid of it to Botta quick. Caton recovers. Hoff draws a defender. Hits Reitz, and they'll reset. Young driving. Hitting Casero. Casero ball fakes. Funnels back to the middle. Steve Botta at the point. Driving, shooting. Save, Ben Hutchinson. Punches it out. Bradley with the rebound. Behind the back pass, and they'll reset. 6:15 remaining. T-backs clinging to a 3-point lead. Great follow-up by Andrew Reitz. He buries the 2. It looks like they put Dustin Gebhardt back in at wedge back, have brought Jared O'Donnell back out in Ranger. That was a switch that was made for the first time this year. They're going to go back to what they've been doing all season. Nice save there, Steve Botta. A rare switch made. We were wondering about that before the game. Sorry we haven't mentioned it, that Jared O'Donnell was back in net after playing Ranger for the first half of the season. And, you know, the old adage, Phil, is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's kind of confusing as to why Scott Kennedy would make a move like that.
I think so, too. You see him making saves, making defensive plays, and on offense. You got to stick with your hot guns in this sport.
Coyne takes an easy look in quad 2 and buries it. 67-64, Throwbacks lead. They're going to try and slow it down again. 5:20 remaining in the second. Farino taking his time in the middle.
This is more like a line shift than a personnel change-up.
Absolutely. A lot of subbing. Throwbacks will continue to give you different looks all game. Tough passing. Great job by Farris to collect himself and hit upper 90 there. T-backs are having good possessions. Ooh, mishandled. Punch back to Botta. Quick transition. He's open for 4, and he doesn't take it. He'll drive quad 4. Hit Ferrero. He'll reset. Hoff driving, shooting. Save, Sean Kennedy. Quick hands, man. Some of the quickest hands in the Kronum League right there from Sean Kennedy.
For a guy who's 6'3", 6'4", usually gets everything thrown his way high, that was a great low save for Kennedy.
Absolutely. He is nearly unbeatable to the upper part of the chamber. Oh, nice block. Scott Kennedy coming out of nowhere. T-backs collect, though. Botta driving. That crossed the line. That'll be good for 2. T-backs back up 71-64. O'Donnell hangs up in the air. Big save, Bada. That'll go out of play. 4:11 remaining. Clock stops as the ball goes on top of the crown. 71-64, second period. Nimble Jacks trailing. They have the ball in offense. Ryan Coyne finds Caton. Nothing there. Back to Caton. Nothing there. They're going to have to reverse fields. Scott Kennedy goes to quad 1. Finds Petrino. Loses the handle on the pass. Back to Scott Kennedy. Kennedy driving quad 2. Catches Bada out of net, but misses off the mark. T-back's going to look to convert on another turnover by the Nimble Jacks.
A lot of times you see guys' eyes get wide open when they see that open net, and they get a little too excited and put it off the mark.
Yeah, you saw Bada miss one earlier. But I'll tell you what, man, you're seeing a Nimble Jacks team. Oh, loses the handle, makes a save. You're seeing a Nimble Jacks team that is playing nearly a perfect first period, and they're polar opposites of what we saw in the first, this period. Turning the ball over, not making shots. Oh, that was going in. Bradley denies him. Jacks will recover, though. Petrino, not a feet guy, loses the control. Ball's loose in the middle. Casero collects it. T-backs ball, 3 minutes remaining. Gets the foul called, and Casero will have a chance for 3 or 6. Not seeing much out of Ryan Coyne, Jared O'Donnell, and Joe Petrino in this second period.
No, they're the guys who you want to take the bulk of the shots and handling the ball in the open field most of the time, because they're really good at passing, but they're also good at creating space for themselves and beating the one-on-one.
Casero on the PK, save Weiss. Followed up by Farris. Not much feet skills there. He just chips it out of bounds. Farris is a hands guy. Tried to do a little too much there. Probably should have just settled it. Kennedy will take the inbound. Cross field to Hutchinson. Hutchinson sees Jared O'Donnell at the point. O'Donnell not taking many 4s this year. He's got the arm to do it, but Petrino buries high. Tally 2 for the Jacks. They cut the lead to 5. Ryan Hoff takes it in quad 1. Hits Farris. Driving, shooting. Drills it home, far post. Dude, he loves far post.
He's just spotting it there now. He's hitting it. I don't know why the goalie why the wedge back Sean Kennedy hasn't made an adjustment to this point, but he's going to have to.
Big block, John Graham on Hutchison. T-backs playing stellar defense against a high-powered offense of the Nimble Jacks. 2 minutes remaining, 73-66. Throwbacks lead. Nimble Jacks trailing. Coyne might have got away with a walk there. He'll drive all the way and get the foul. Little contact there from Bud Yaniak.
Bud Yaniak's a guy they bring on the field to really initiate contact and go for the ball. He's not somebody that stays in the passing lane. He goes right for the offensive possessor in this case and makes a play on the ball.
Coyne rips that kick upper 90 past James Thomas. That was an absolute missile. Buries it for 3. Hopefully that might wake the Jacks up a little bit. T-backs lead cut to 4, 1:45 remaining. 73-69 T-backs. Leaves it for Farris. They've been doing it all game. Petrino finally recovering on that one. Bada driving quad 1. Finds James Thomas. He'll recollect in the middle. Graham for 4. Save Sean Kennedy. Follows it up. And he'll get 1 from the goal zone. A great hustle play by John Graham. He'll take the 1 in that case. Kennedy driving off the mark. That's the second time he shot over that quadrant's net. Very, very uncharacteristic of the Nimble Jacks to be throwing off net this frequently here in the second. 1 minute remaining here in the second period. 74-69 Throwbacks. Ball's loose in the wedge. Kirby collects it. Hits Bada in the second ring. Bada driving. Takes the 4 off the crown. Just misses for 8. Farris fouls it up. Far post saves Sean Kennedy. Ball's loose. Nimble Jacks need to transition. Turnover. Casero wide open look, and he'll bury it for 2. Throwbacks playing a great second period here, have extended their lead back to 7. Stevens sets the pick. Going to be a call against the Throwbacks for pushing into the screen. Thought we might have an offensive foul there. Stevens looked a little unhappy, but it goes in favor of the Nimble Jacks.
Not going to score down there anyway. They got cell block T down in that goal. That's James Thomas, number 55 in your programs.
Shot off goal, clock running. 10 seconds remaining. Nimble Jacks really would like to score here before the end of the second, and Nick Caton will do just that for them. Quick transition. T-backs may get a shot at it. Redirects. That's going to go for 4 at the buzzer. Casero redirects it, and that is a huge momentum builder going into the third. Throwbacks lead 80-71 at the conclusion of the second. They trailed by 16 points heading into the second. Now they lead by 9. A very impressive comeback by the Throwbacks. Going to take a lot of effort for the next 20 minutes to maintain it, though, because you know the Nimble Jacks will be coming out strong.